In this video, we're going to talk all about sales pipelines and opportunities and what they are and how this can be an extremely important tool for you to grow your business. So if you go into Amplify and you click on opportunities, you'll see three tabs at the top: opportunities, pipelines, and bulk action. Opportunities. This is where you will see your pipelines, the distinction between opportunities and pipelines. But the way to think about it is an opportunity is the actual opportunity card that shows up on a pipeline in a specific state. And if we click over to pipelines, we'll see that the pipeline is just the pipeline. It's not something that actually deals with the opportunities themselves. I know that can be kind of confusing, but it'll make much more sense once we start digging into it, and I'll show you some examples. So by default, when you create your Amplify account and you get access to it, you will have this sales pipeline that we've set up using best practices that accommodate the vast majority of service-based businesses with the stages in a sales process. Now, of course, if you don't like these stages or if they don't fit your business model, you can easily change them. Let me show you how to do that. You would go over to pipelines. You would then find the sales pipeline here, click on the pencil icon, and now you can move them around. You can delete stages. You can change the names, or heck, you could even rename the entire pipeline or delete the entire pipeline and start over. It is completely flexible in terms of what you want in your pipeline and what you want those stages to be. What's most important is that your pipeline is something that reflects your customer journey in your business. So again, you want to think about what is it that people have to do when they first contact you, or maybe when you first contact them, all the way through that sales process to them becoming a client or even beyond that. And that's what you want your pipeline to consist of. The other awesome thing about Amplify is that you can have multiple pipelines. There's no limit. So a lot of our clients have pipelines for their sales process. Maybe they have some for their onboarding process, and maybe they have a pipeline for ongoing clients or customers. It's up to you, but you're not limited to just one pipeline. Now, if we go back to opportunities, once you have your pipeline stages set up in a way where it makes sense for your business process, there are multiple ways to add contacts to a pipeline. Keep in mind, there's a difference between a contact record and an opportunity record. A contact is a person, and that person can have an opportunity associated with them. Think of the opportunity as that buying experience or that potential opportunity for you to sell that person something, whether it's a product or a service. So the first way you can add an opportunity is by going to opportunities and clicking on add opportunity. You could then select the contact from the primary contact name field. You could start typing. Let's say I want to add Jordan Smith. I'm going to see everybody with that name in my system, and I can click here if I see that contact, or I can create a new contact from scratch. But I'm going to select Jordan Smith. You can see some of his contact info gets populated here. And now I have the opportunity name, which I can change. Maybe I want to put his business name here. Whatever you want your opportunity name to be, you can do that here. Then I have the pipeline and the stage, and I can change it. So if I had multiple pipelines, they would show up here. And if I had, I do have multiple stages, I can select the right stage for Jordan. In this case, this is a new lead, so I'm going to keep him in the new lead state. I want to keep this as an open status. The other statuses are lost, won, and abandoned. Lost is if you lost the opportunity and they decided not to become a customer or a client. Won obviously means you have won the deal. And then abandoned is somewhere in between where you didn't technically get a hard no from this opportunity, but you also don't believe this is going to move forward. You can also set an opportunity value if you want. Again, that's optional, but it is helpful because if you really start using this correctly, you can start forecasting and predicting what your revenue might be based on how many opportunities are in different stages of your pipelines and what the opportunity value is. And then we can determine what your close percentage is to determine how many of those deals are likely to move forward. And then we can find out what your projected revenue is. So that could be a very powerful tool if you want to use it. You can also assign a user. You can assign followers. You can give a business name, opportunity source, tags. There's a lot of information here, but we're just going to stick to the basics for now. So we'll create that opportunity. And if we close this out and we hit refresh, we should see the opportunity card in the first pipeline state. And there it is. Now, opportunity cards can be dragged to different stages, and this helps you track that sales process. You can also automate the movement of an opportunity card using automations and workflows, which we're going to get into in a future video. But what's important to know is that if you click on the name of the opportunity, it opens up the contact record that that opportunity is associated with. If we go back and we don't click on the name, but we just click anywhere else on the card, this opens up the opportunity itself. So it's very important to understand the difference between opportunities and contacts. And if you want, the system can function in a way where a single contact can have multiple opportunities at any given time. Maybe you have different service lines and you have insurance that you sell. Maybe you have life insurance and you have health insurance. Maybe you want to have two pipelines, one for health insurance, one for life insurance. And it's totally possible that the same contact could have an opportunity card on both the health insurance and the life insurance pipelines. So that's just one situation where you might have one contact with multiple opportunities. Now, as you move people through the system, you can also create automations that trigger off of this movement. And this can be very powerful as well. So for instance, if I have a new lead come in and I want to automatically send that lead a message, maybe I set up an automation that says whenever I move someone to the contacted stage, it will send an automated message. Now, of course, that's just a hypothetical situation. You may not want to have something like that set up. It's not set up like that out of the box, but it is totally possible to do that where you can automate pretty much anything in the system based on the movement of an opportunity card. You can also use other actions from the system to automate where a card moves. So for instance, you see these stages here, appointment booked, appointment showed, and appointment missed. We can set it up where if Jordan books an appointment with an Amplify calendar or on an Amplify calendar, we can have this opportunity automatically move to appointment booked so that I don't have to manually move it. And that can save you a lot of time. You can even move opportunities manually or automatically from one pipeline to another. So if we have reached the end of this pipeline and Jordan has paid, so they've become a customer, we could now, in theory, have a second pipeline maybe called onboarding, and we could automatically move this opportunity card to that second pipeline using workflows and automations. So the possibilities are limitless when it comes to opportunities and pipelines. Hopefully you see how powerful this can be for keeping all of your leads in one place. And the most important thing, though, is to make sure that all of your leads are getting captured as opportunities. It's not enough to just have contact records because contacts can get messy. But with opportunities, you want to make sure that you're coming in here and you're checking and you have all of your new leads coming in, whether you meet someone at a networking event or they're filling out a form on your website or they filled out a Facebook lead form, whatever the case may be, you want all of your opportunities to come into the proper pipeline and be in the proper stage. And then you want to use the power of automations and workflows to automate the movement of those opportunities through the system. And also you can do this manually when it's appropriate so that you are keeping track of your entire customer journey. And that is opportunities and pipelines in a nutshell.